Hey, this is Brandon.
And this is Drew.
Welcome to Crushin' It. We're going to talk to people you know about stories you may not. Hometown hustle, big time stories, weekly from Owensboro.
Let's get to crushing it.
All right, welcome back, guys. It's Brandon and Drew. We're here with my buddy Sean Ralston, and big time barber in the world. Home base right here in Owensboro, man. Tell us a little bit about you, what you're up to, and how you're crushing it.
Yeah, so started just barber here in Owensboro. It's grown. I'm sure we'll get into a little bit of details, but yeah, I get to travel the world a little bit. Just got back from Canada yesterday. Ugly trip, but so yeah, I go around, share what I know, from barbering to social media, content creation, shop ownership, more general business. You know, really whatever it is that I know that can help anybody else. Do that in multiple different educational platforms, classes, platform artists, stuff like that, and then obviously do very little bit of haircutting in the shop here, but that's the minimum thing at this point. But yeah, it's cool. It's fun to get out, see the world, see the rest of the country, and meet a lot of people along the way.
Very cool, man. Well, thanks for being here. And I think you have two Klutch clients in the chairs here today.
You know, I was just in there yesterday trying to get cleaned up, and as I'm sitting in the chair, I'm like, okay, I have a team of two. It's me and Jess, and you've got a team of how many now?
20.
And so I was thinking, like,
now.
I was trying to put myself in your shoes. It's like, how do you manage 20 personalities and people and all these different things? Like,
and multiple
that's got to be
locations.
hard. Yeah.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, you really can't. You just have to kind of try to navigate. It's almost like kids, right? I only have two. The same idea. It's like they operate different. They eat different. You just have to try to make one situation that fits everybody the best. And I mean, you guys have both been around. You know, it's little adjustments here to try to keep everybody as happy as you can, I guess. But to be honest, that's the hardest part of the business. It's not the clients. It's not the lease or the building or the haircutting. It's 20 different personalities, work ethics, lifestyles, you know, all in one place. So,
yeah.
But luckily it works, and it takes that. You know, you got the guys that like to come in early, that have families that leave early for ball games. You got the guys that like to sleep in, and they don't mind to stay till close. You know, so just like anything, it takes both sides of that, and ideally some good balance there, and it works somehow. So.
Okay, let's go way back in time because, like you said, we do know the story a little bit. You and I went to high school together, played in a band together.
First friend here in Owensboro.
First friend in Owensboro.
Yeah.
I will wear that.
Yeah.
I was there.
First guy to be nice to me as a new kid.
I was there for your first tattoo.
Yeah, likewise.
Which one was that?
The R on my forearm.
That R.
Yeah, shoot, I had to think about that.
In the basement of a house.
Yeah. That sounds worse than it was.
It sounds worse than it was. But yeah, so, you know, take me back to like 15 years old. And at that time, I mean, was it in your head, like, I'm going to be a barber when I grow up?
Definitely not. I mean, I wasn't even going to a barber. Never had any interest in this industry at all. Not a thought toward it. I have a cousin that was a stylist pretty early on. Probably not quite at that point. She's a year or two older than me, but pretty soon after. But no, never thought about that. I love telling this story, telling my dad this, because throughout, you know, we worked at Texas Roadhouse together. Throughout, that was kind of that was my career. Thought I was going to end up there, and Dad used to say, you know, I get it. Somebody has to be a restaurant manager. Somebody has to be all these things, but I just feel like there's a place where your, you know, hands-on skills, your creativity, whatever, will flow, and you'll really, you know, have an impact and really grow. I just don't know if this is it. And, you know, at the time I would defend myself like, oh, somebody's got to be a manager. You know, I like what I do, whatever. So no thought there. It just eventually fell in my lap, and I think, like what my dad said was right, and this is the perfect outlet for me. At first, cutting hair, starting a job, finishing a job. I love to be with people. I like to make people feel good. So that's where I did it behind the chair, and now that's grown, obviously, to a lot of different ways to get out and impact people. But, yeah, honestly never picked up a hair clipper until the week I decided to sign up for barber school. So never even did my own hair or anything, friends' hair, anything like that.
Yeah, if I remember right, like, we were driving tricked out Honda Civics and stuff.
Right.
And so you were all about taking stuff apart, putting it back together, working with your hands. Your first kind of experiment with a career was auto body, wasn't it?
Right. So never did it as a career, but kind of same thing, right? I like projects. I like building things, like you said, working on stuff. You know, we were always doing that, but I wanted to create. That's, you know, Fast and Furious days. You know,
Yeah.
I wanted to take a regular car and turn it into something cool, and there just wasn't a market for it here. So I actually went to apply, got an interview. I think it was like Greg's Collision Center. I don't know. It's something different now, I think. But I was going to get $850 to sand cars and sweep floors. And I'm like, this isn't really what, you know, I wanted to do custom paint jobs and put spoilers and wheels. And, you know, there's just not a market for that here. So I never did it as a job. But it's, even years ago, I would say that school paid for itself because I know how to fix my own car, paint a bumper, paint a spoiler, stuff like that. But yeah, never did that as a career. But same idea, you know, it was a creative outlet, hands-on, start to finish, you know, build something with your hands and kind of be proud of. So I do that a lot, just never as a career.
That's why what drew me to Klutch to start going there personally is it was creative. It looked creative, it had a creative vibe, and we do creative work, and so I wanted that to reflect like my look a little bit. And so that's always been my draw. It's never been like your traditional barber that's, you know, I think of like a Marine Corps haircut, you know, traditional barber, but coming into Klutch, you know, you're going to get something creative, and the whole vibe there is creative. So I see that now, that creativity coming out of you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that too, because that's 100% what I want. You know, before I came on here, I was like, okay, I got to be really careful how I word some things about traditional, you know, whatever, like Owensboro being very traditional, Kentucky being it, barbershops being it, because it's not a diss. Again, it takes a little bit of that. Some people like that, but yeah, I wanted to be as far the opposite of that. So I appreciate that comment, that's the vibe you get from that. I wanted it to feel different, unique, creative, fresh, where you could feel, you know, if you're that guy, you go in there, you feel that it enforces that. You
Absolutely.
know? So that's awesome.
So how did you know early on, like, this is going to be something special?
Man, I don't know when that necessarily took place. I think pretty early on, you know, I got out of barber school, 2014, I think. Man, it's funny, like that long back. It's like, I think that's when it was. Lots happened since then.
We're old, bro.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I got in the shop and very quickly, kind of exactly to your point, all the other barbers around were very old school, doing just basic haircuts. You know, is acceptable for most people. So I immediately was like, okay, we're doing that better. You know, I'm going to be more creative. I'm going to learn how to be the best. These are early days of YouTube and social media, and so, you know, I wanted to set myself apart exactly the way that you just talked about the shop. But at that time, it was just me, and probably within 6 months, I mean, I was getting my butt kicked in the barbershop. So I think I knew that early on that, like, this is going to work, at least just the being a barber thing. And I didn't honestly have any goals to be where I'm at right now, to own a shop or any of that. It's just almost been just like a natural development where I just, whatever, you know, where we're at right now, what do I need to do to continue to grow and push this thing? And we've gotten to where we are now. So I think early on, even almost in barber school, I could tell that, like, I was taking it more serious than the other guys. Not to say I was like better, you know, I mean, everybody was fine, but, you know, it was pretty clear that, like, I found something I enjoyed that kind of fit that, like what my dad had said. I was enjoying it. There was a lot to learn. There was a lot of growth that I could do, and I'm always the guy looking for that. So I could tell it was the avenue. I just don't think I knew. Definitely never imagined I'd be where I'm at, for sure. So
20 barbers, dude. I can't even imagine.
Well, and so let's touch on that a little bit, right? Because I think a lot of people probably misunderstand, like, what your actual profession is now.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're a barber, you own shops, people pay you booth rent, but, like, your revenue stream, like, you're a content creator. Right. So, like, explain, you know, don't tell everybody how much money you make, but you know, like, kind of walk us through, like, because you only cut hair like 1 day a week, right?
Right. 3 days a month.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd mentioned early days of YouTube and social media, so you kind of like came in on the ground with that to where you are now.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just developed, and as it moves, I just move with it and try to find the best, best scenario for me. But yeah, so I went from a barber, which was my main income, to a shop owner pretty early, within 2 years. And honestly, the shop's never paid me a lot of money. It was just really a place to give other people that freedom. You guys both know a few of my barbers, so I wanted to give them the best place that they could have that freedom to grow and do it how they needed to do it. And then early on, again, back to trying to be nice about Kentucky. I wanted to teach. I always like to really, just in general, help people. If I know something that can help you, kind of like you doing it, offering to do this here, I like to be that guy. So I wanted to teach. Once I was successful as a barber, I wanted to teach. I taught all my guys. Well, when I went to do it, Kentucky barber laws said that I was not allowed to teach without being a licensed instructor with the state. And I didn't want to teach in a barber school. That wasn't what I wanted to do. And I had some friends elsewhere that were teaching in similar capacities to what I do now on YouTube and in person. Kentucky basically shut it down. I mean, they let me know they were going to show up to a class I was doing. They were going to find me, stop the class, things like that. Just really roadblocked me, like, you're not doing that here. And so that, again, it just kind of, I like to just roll with the punches. So that kind of forced a switch. I went to YouTube. I can put it on YouTube. There's nothing you can say about it, I don't think. They might have tried, but, and so that just took off. So yeah, now I'm full-time. I wouldn't even say I'm full-time content creator. That has provided opportunities where I'm more educator now, but through content creation, kind of 50-50. That's where I just left the shop recording content to promote my classes coming up. So I guess ultimately, yeah, content creator. But really now I consider myself like really just a true entrepreneur. I do have multiple. I do make revenue cutting hair, very, very little compared to the rest. I own a shop. That's one business. Multiple content creation streams, YouTube, Instagram. I don't really do TikTok. And then education is my main thing now. My main stream is from these guys up here. That's why we put some clippers on display. But I was able to sign with one of the biggest, probably the biggest clipper company that there is. And I've been educating for them now. So that's actually my main stream these days. But yeah, probably about 7 or 8 revenue streams. And that's, it keeps it fun. It keeps it fresh. It's always shifting. It's always changing, kind of focus moves. And there'll be new ones next year,
Do you want to give them some product placement and talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so this is BaBylissPRO. If you guys are familiar with Conair, that's your Walmart. If you go to Walmart to get clippers or a blow dryer or whatever, Conair is what you're going to see there. That's the consumer brand. BaBylissPRO is the professional, and then the barber side is who I work for. So absolutely best quality. Like both of you guys, not even being barbers, could pick those up and be like, man, these feel like a quality machine. You guys, we handle stuff every day. Camera equipment, what's quality.
Yeah.
Absolutely the best quality. Amazing team from the office staff, all my management team, down to all the educators. Literally the top. I mean, there's probably 30 of us, and definitely within the top 50, there's all 30 of us are in the top 50 in the industry. So we got a heck of a team. Just really awesome people. This is my second year. It's been just unreal to work for them.
So they send you all over, right? Like you just got back from Canada. You were in Orlando, Orlando a few weeks ago.
Orlando, going to New Mexico this weekend.
Wow.
UK last year.
Yeah, I'm trying. London.
Supposed to go to New Zealand at the end of the year with Babyliss Australia, which is over that direction. They want to bring me to New Zealand, so cool.
And let me get this straight. Kentucky still won't let you teach.
They will. I can't call it a class, and I can't charge students.
Okay. Wow.
So what's the workaround there? What do you call it?
Look and learn, and that's what we call it anyway, because that's something interesting. Again, I won't hope nobody sees this. It's going to get me in trouble. But yeah, I went to meet with them. I said, hey, like we got to work around this. I'm just trying to help people. I just want to teach. And so they had basically interpreted the law. They took it the way they wanted to take it and said that it says to teach you have to be a licensed instructor. I'm like, well, that's in the chapter about barber schools. I'm not doing that. And so we had a discussion about, like, I do this everywhere. I go to the West Coast, to Florida, to New York. I mean, I've been literally all around the country doing this. We do it all the time, and I can't help my own state grow. And so in the discussion, they were like, well, wait, are you giving continuing education hours, which is something that stylists have to do? Barbers don't even have continuing education hours. And they said, oh, we thought you were trying to offer official CE hours. And I was like, we don't even have CE. How does that make any sense? Oh, you just want to do a demonstration, basically. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly. It was like this. I don't know if I was sitting this close to them, and they kind of had to like have the discussion or what. But yeah, they basically said, oh, we misinterpreted what you were trying to do.
Okay. So you ironed it out.
You can do it. Yeah, you can do it. You can't charge students. If students cannot pay unless it's a licensed school, I'm like, okay, fine. I'll give students free. They don't have money anyway. I know I didn't. And then you can't call it a class. It has to be call it something else. Demonstration, look and learn. I'll call it a networking event, whatever. We get creative with that. But yeah, so we figured it out. They've been, I've been doing it for a few years since then, and it's been all good. So,
Well, so that leads me into a few weeks ago, you did like a big thing at the convention center, right?
right.
So-
yeah, couple months now.
Has it been that long? Okay. So
Yeah.
tell us about that, because that was huge, man.
Right. So same idea. Kentucky, we don't have much for barbers, for stylists. No trade shows. You mentioned Orlando. I went to Orlando in April, I think. 50,000 hair professionals. That's what you were talking about. You threw mine together. You're a little right up on me together. I didn't have a chance to talk to you. So that's actually the biggest beauty show in the whole country.
Wow.
Not just barber. There's nails, hair extensions, tanning. I mean, anything beauty, makeup. Barbering is a very small portion there. But that's the type of stuff we have elsewhere, right? And Kentucky has nothing. Nashville's the closest, and it's a beauty show. So barbers really have nothing like that here for whatever, for education, for getting new equipment, whatever it is. That's where I spend majority of my time. Like I just got back from Toronto. That's what it was a trade show. New Mexico next weekend, another trade show. So this is where I'm living every weekend.
So you're setting up booths with products.
Yeah,
and
setting up
things.
booths. We have education, big classrooms with chairs and stages. This is what I've been doing for the last 5 years. This is the main thing that I do. And funny enough, somebody had asked me before, like, you ever think about doing one in Kentucky? And kind of based off of what we just got done talking about, I'm like, probably not. I don't think it would be easy, and I don't think that's a problem that I want to go through. I didn't necessarily see the benefit. Fast forward a couple years, really the connections I've made with different companies that are vendors at all these shows. I've got to know one of the guys that's with BaBylissPRO, throws the biggest expo that's in Connecticut that I've definitely talked to you about. Became friends with him. I've seen a little more behind the scenes, and for whatever reason, this past, it was Christmas week, I think. I had done an event the prior year at the 54 location where you get cut. We sold it out, 90 tickets overnight, packed it out. Too many people, to be honest. I wanted to do it again. And I was like, man, where do I go? I can't do that again. It'd be too full. I always have to have room for it to be bigger. Started looking at venues. There really wasn't one. Went to the convention center. They acted like, well, we can make something happen. Like, it may be bigger than you're thinking,
Right.
but we'll make it work. We'll work with you, especially if you don't know if you're going to need all the space. Like, so Christmas week, I call them. I'm like, lock it in. Let's do it. Let's go for it. I literally that night hit up 10 or 15 of my friends, that own companies. I about did friends. No, they are friends, but they're vendors as
Right.
well. Hey, listen, I'm throwing this expo. I have no idea what to expect. I'll give you a free booth. I just need you to show up,
Nice.
And they all said yes, literally all of them. And yeah, so we threw the first Klutch Barber Expo. That was a controversial decision because in Owensboro, if you're not working at Klutch, you're not a fan of Klutch. So I didn't know if that would hurt or didn't think it would help. But I spent so many years building that brand. I wanted it to be Klutch Expo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not the Kentucky Barber
Right.
Expo. So Klutch Barber Expo, yeah, March 16th, we had over 400 people. They stayed the entire time. I mean, I go to a lot of shows. They usually clear out, halfway through.
400 is impressive, but it's more impressive when you remember what the ticket price was.
Right. Yeah, so we did 150 VIP, sold them out. I mean, people were begging for more.
Wow.
Added 12. I mean, we were doing where we started taking chairs from the general seating. And it was like, it's going to end up being half VIP. Like, is it VIP at that point? But we had like clipper giveaways included in the VIP.
Nice.
I mean, there's a lot of perks. You essentially got, I think my Barber Supply friends in Fort Worth Barber Supply, they gave $50 gift cards to the VIP. Well, the VIP was, I think 150, 120 early bird. You're getting 50 right back. Now it's general admission price, so it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had 400 plus, amazing education all morning, just an awesome vibe. The convention center was amazing. People were shocked. They're like, I've never heard of Owensboro. Definitely did not expect to walk in. You guys know how I do it. I mean, it was clutched out. Everything, my barber chair was up there, neon yellow,
Yes.
the custom capes. I mean, everything. We gave away a ton of those. I call them the Klutch Yellow Clippers. They're not officially that, but it was it, man. It was amazing. So we're doing it again next year. Already locked in.
That's awesome.
That's
About to get to work. I need to talk with you guys too. I might need to get you guys involved.
Sure.
Definitely
Yeah,
drop the
absolutely.
ball on the media.
Wow. I
At
mean,
that
you
event,
probably had a
so-
whole lot of
Yeah,
Well,
of
that's the thing.
course.
So we're talking about 400 people. Like, none of them were from Owensboro, right? I mean,
Not
some.
hardly. We had I'll say 6 or 7 local people, and funny enough, people I ran into or went on purpose to talk to, and I realized that how that impacted, like how much help that was. So that's one thing this year. I'm definitely going to do a little tour around Kentucky to offer free education at some friends' barbershops, 3 or 4 different places. Louisville, Lexington, Bowling Green, maybe, just to get the word out and actually go run into shops, spend a day in whatever city, driving around to all the barbershops, shaking hands and inviting people. And I think that did help big time. And yeah, I need to double it next year. So we need, my goal is 1,000, which is
sweet,
more than double. So, that's a little big, but
talk about that too, how you're not from Owensboro. You moved here when you were in high school.
Yep.
What that means for somebody we're going to claim you as from Owensboro. Yeah. So somebody that's from Owensboro having like a big conference like that in Owensboro, because when this started with Brandon, it was like highlighting some people around Owensboro that are just crushing it in life, and how the little bitty Owensboro, 60,000 people, whatever it is, can produce like this great talent. Right. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I think again, another let me watch how I word this. I think a lot of times in a lot of ways, I know both of you feel this way, because in your industries it's the same way. Owensboro can be very small. Like, because we're small, we have to keep it small. I'll give you a prime example. This is going to offend some people listening. So
that's all right.
I think rolling pin is acceptable donuts. Okay, they're fine.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, right. No, I just love this topic though.
It's the vibe.
Anybody
man.
that's ever been out of Owensboro, Kentucky knows that they're not the best donuts in the world. There's a lot of better places. So Krispy Kreme closing here in 6 months really showed me how Owensboro rocks with Owensboro.
Okay.
And I'm not knocking rolling pin. They're good donuts. That just showed. I love Krispy Kremes. I was upset.
I'll guarantee
right.
it. Yeah.
I was upset. But in that idea, that Owensboro seems to just be very, like, it's a positive that we're a small community and it's local, whatever. But we don't think very big, I don't think.
And we're the biggest small town
that
I've ever been to. Like, I lived in Houston.
You've been elsewhere, yeah.
And like Houston's huge, right?
Way big.
And so when I moved back home, even though I was only gone for a few years, like, it was culture shock. You know, it's like, oh, I forgot everybody knows everybody. And the people you do business with, you see at church, you see at Kroger, you coach soccer with them, like all these things. So it's very much a tight-knit networking type community. And at the same time, you have people doing like really big things.
I was going to say, like, to your point though, like, yeah, we're small and we're tight-knit, but you're traveling, you're getting out there, you're representing Owensboro well, like in the whole country, possibly even the world. Like, that's cool.
Well, and funny enough, I'm on stage with people from L.A. and Chicago and all these the biggest areas, you know. And a lot of people would say like, "Oh, you got to get out of your small town to make it or whatever." And whether you're doing content, media, podcasts, or like small towns just killing you. And so I actually talk about it a lot on stage, because even if I'm in L.A. doing a class, somebody drove from Podunk City, on the east border of Nevada, that thinks they have no shot in life.
Yep.
And I say, you ever heard of Owensboro, Kentucky? No. I can tell you that you haven't. Rarely I'll get somebody that knows somebody at KWC or something crazy.
That's where Johnny Depp's from.
Yeah, right. But even that, they most of the time don't even know that. But I actually, I use that as a teaching point. Like, hey, listen, don't shoot your own dreams down because you think where you're from affects you. And even people ask me, like, why don't you move away? And I'm like, I've been able to do what I'm doing from right here. And I enjoy coming back home. It's calm. There's no traffic. People are nice here. So I'm proud to go do what I do and be from here. But I love as soon as you wrote that first Crushing It and wanted to do this, like, I just love the idea because, I don't know. I just think everybody feels that way in Owensboro. Yeah. Like, oh, we're just from Owensboro. I'm gonna just do my regular thing, and you can't do much from here. Nobody's doing anything here. I'll never be this, whatever it is. And I'm like, that is absolutely not true.
We talked about it before, but that's kind of like the whole genesis of this whole thing, right? Like Memorial Day weekend, I'm in the produce aisle at Kroger and see somebody from high school. They're like, hey man, tell me about what you've been up to. you know, without like beating a dead horse, I climbed a mountain, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so
Pretty cool.
they're like, man, nobody from Owensboro does anything cool. And so I'm like,
Hang on, back
okay.
up. He climbed Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Like that's not just like a
mean,
little hill
that's a
in
heck of a
Philippines.
mountain.
Yeah,
It-
that's
yeah,
it's
a thing.
take
but,
some credit there.
I wouldn't make it home if I was.
Right.
Yeah. I would.
people are sick of hearing me talk about
Yeah,
it. But you know, just that comment, like nobody's doing anything. It's like, hold on, you know,
Yeah.
plenty of people are doing plenty
A
of
lot.
things. So like the next day, I was like, who do I know, right? So I started with Sean, and mainly because I've just known you forever, but. You know, and then it's just kind of snowballed, right? Like it's still going, and I've got a list a mile long of
Right.
people.
Oh, you won't run out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you won't.
And
That's cool.
That's cool, and they're all connected to Owensboro in some way. But you said something earlier that made me think. So you know, oh, you'll never make it from Owensboro. Like, do you feel like you've made it?
Yes and no. I feel like, you know, kind of like you asked me, when did I know I was on, you know, this was it. I've reached every goal that I've had for myself, but I'm not done. I haven't made it. I mean, I'm still navigating what's next. You know, we just opened a second location. That's been a journey. Now that's settling in. So it's like, my dad just moved to Bowling Green right on time. I'm like, I'm gonna start scouting locations. You know, like what's next? So I'm constantly looking at what's next. You know, my goal is to, you know, set myself up to be home with my family. My kids are getting older. I want to be at games. I want to be at those things. What else I do, we're still figuring out. So no, I don't feel like I've made it. I've achieved a lot of the things I set out to do, but it's not like there's an end to the list. You know, it's just I just keep kind of rolling with the punches and taking it where it goes. So I am getting older in a sense of, you know, I'm not trying to do. I just told you I just spent 12 hours in Toronto Airport Monday all day. Didn't see my family the whole day. I was supposed to be home at 11 o'clock. Like that's getting old. So I don't see myself doing exactly what I'm doing right now
You need a clutch
for a lot
jet.
more. Yeah, Klutch
Hey,
jet,
there you
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
We
all
got
right.
an airport. We
Let's
actually
get
have
on
like the longest runway or the second longest
Really?
runway in Kentucky.
That's wild.
And we
Yeah,
just don't use it.
I'm actually about to start taking those flights because I'm gonna attempt that and see if it makes it better.
Yeah.
Even though it has worse like layovers and whatnot. But yeah, you know, I don't know.
It's that
What
drive,
next year?
man.
Oh,
you
it's
land
awful.
in Nashville and you're like, oh, I got 2 more hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I stayed the night because I was like, I'm not driving home after
Yeah.
13 hours of
No, I
layover
wouldn't
or of delays. But so yeah, I don't know. I definitely haven't made it. I am happy with where I'm at. You know, I get to be like you call me. Like, can you do this on 10:30 a Wednesday? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm not doing nothing. I work tomorrow. That's it. So
Yeah.
I love the freedom that I've created for myself. And if anything, that's what I go around and try to teach people because it won't look the same for everybody. But through barbering and through, you know, everybody has their own interests. You know, like you're not a podcast guy, but you wanted to start something, and
Yeah, I mean-
who knows where it goes, right? So
This
that's
could be a total dud.
it could, you know, but it could go. I mean, you never know. And I go around teaching people to just try things and that go with their interests, and kind of just take this path and see where it goes. And, you know, hopefully you can put yourself in whatever position you're trying to be in. Mine is, you know, essentially having some passive incomes going on. I can be home with the family and do a little traveling. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying it now. We'll see where it goes.
Very cool. I want to go back in time. I know we talked about it a little bit already, but like when you first had the idea, like I'm going to record giving this haircut, like what even prompted that? Like where did that come from?
So yeah, there was a few guys doing that already, and I had really learned. You know, go back to what I was talking about barber school. I think what set me apart early on was that I didn't rely on barber school to teach me because they didn't teach us anything. Barber school teaches you. I think honestly, I don't know this for a fact. I think the schools get a kickback from the state of how many people graduate and pass to incentivize them. You know, so they're only worried about you passing the test. So the focus is on the book, the law, sanitation, everything that's on the test, the written parts of it, right? Which I won't say aren't important, but 1,500 hours to learn that, and nobody stood next to me and taught me how to cut hair. Ever.
That's interesting.
You hear me? My teacher never picked up a clipper and showed me something. Never once.
Wow.
So you learn from your senior students next to you, which was good. I had some very talented guys. You stand and watch them. But I went to YouTube to look, and there was a guy, Chris Basio. He's founder of Tomb 45. One of these clippers up here is a Tomb 45 BaBylissPRO collaboration. Pretty cool, right on time. for me joining the team. But he was one of the early guys doing YouTube, teaching how to cut hair. So I watched 4 or 5 videos, did the first haircut I ever did in my apartment. It was okay, and I thought, all right, let's do this. So throughout barber school, I honestly learned majority of what I knew about cutting hair from YouTube.
That's funny.
And again, back to the state not letting me teach. Once I felt good enough to teach, like, shoot, okay, well, I'll just start a YouTube channel. I can do it. So I actually waited 2 years, not for any reason, just, you know, kind of the opposite of you. Like, I'm going to do this podcast. Let's find somebody and let's do it. I just kept waiting. Like, well, I don't have a camera. I don't know how to do it or whatever. And I'd always dabbled in a little bit of video editing and whatever, that kind of stuff. But yeah, really, I waited 2 years.
We were making custom MySpace skins.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Did
bro?
all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did all of that.
Showing our age.
Yeah,
Yes.
golly.
For
But
the
yeah,
band, man.
Dude, I used to make PowerPoints that were like animations. Like, I would take a PowerPoint and, you know, you can like set like keyframes or what, I don't know what it's called in PowerPoint.
Transitions.
And I would make, I remember I made the GoldenEye intro. So like the guy came across, shot, the blood came down. I could do that on PowerPoint. So I mean, I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. So yeah, finally, I don't remember. I have to look back at what my first YouTube video was. But yeah, I just turned it on one day and
The band's
started.
website was made in Flash and Dreamweaver.
Oh, wow.
Shoot.
Yeah, buddy.
Throwback.
Yeah, that is.
That was around the same time he was doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so you just set a camera up, recorded a haircut,
Right.
and
I think it was my phone. I think I used my phone.
okay, and people
First.
just liked it, commented, and you're like, oh, this is something.
Yeah, I mean, it started off slow. I had 0 following. Obviously, you start with 0. But yeah, 2 things happened. There's a guy named 360 Jeezy is his biggest YouTuber. I think 3.5 million YouTube subscribers at this point, maybe more. Just saw him in Toronto.
Barber YouTuber, right?
Barber YouTuber,
Okay.
yeah. So he had done a challenge called the Everyday Haircut Challenge or Every Haircut Challenge, something like that, which was essentially saying that people only post the good one on social media.
Yeah.
You know, you're only recording if one side doesn't turn out, you don't put it in. And I'll speak for facts with that. That's absolutely true. You guys know editing. We just said before this, if you mess up, just stop. We can edit it out, you know. Same thing, right? Like, the viewer doesn't know exactly what went down. So, I'm not going to say my videos are fake, but, like, definitely there's times stuff doesn't go as planned, and you just don't post that video or you leave it out. But so his challenge was record every haircut. Well, you don't have to show the whole thing, but record start to finish, first client, 10th client, whatever it is, and he was going to react to him on his channel. It was a challenge. Well, I didn't know he was going to react, but it was a challenge, so I did it. And I don't know if you guys dabble in YouTube enough. You know, when there's something like that, like every haircut challenge, you Google it, you search it on YouTube, they'll all come up if people do it. So I was like, I got to get one in. So I did it, and he reacted to it, and he had his daughter react, and it said she gave him an F. And it had like this crazy, and he's big at the time. He probably had 1 million subscribers at the time. So I went from like 700 subscribers to like 3,000 subscribers in a week.
Because you got an F.
But yeah, you still got an F.
Well, so he actually said they were good, but she gave it
She
an
gave it an
F
F.
because he said I never showed any hair cutting. I just did it before and after of each client.
Gotcha.
And so it was, but funny, right? I mean, it worked. The
subscribers.
clickbait title, and then Basio as well did a video. I don't remember what his reaction or what his. He did like a reaction, but it was to something that I did. So between the two of them, a little boost got me monetized, which is the hardest. Honestly, the hardest time.
Yeah.
Anybody I know that's done YouTube, most of the time quits before they get there.
Yep.
And it's funny because you really start at 0 when you get to the monetization. So yeah, I hit that. I just stayed true to it. You know, I used to pride myself. I went 4.5 years, never took a week off of YouTube.
Wow.
Even through the pandemic, never missed. I was up there cutting my own hair.
Man, you had some silly videos.
Oh man, I let my wife cut my hair.
It's like
Yeah.
once a week.
At least once a week. I got
That's
up to
awesome.
3 a week at one point.
Dang.
Which is really when I saw my
That's the
growth,
way to
obviously.
go,
But yeah.
You've
but
got the plaque, right?
I do have a plaque. I should have brought that.
Oh, you got a
Dude,
YouTube
man.
button?
Yeah, I got the play button. So
Dang.
yeah, so I have like 166,000 right now. But yeah, I mean it's a slow.
Subscribers.
Yeah, slow grind. It had little spurts, just like anything. You have a video that does better than the rest, and
Yep.
it popped up a little bit. And then, yeah, I hit it hard there for a while, did 3 a week. And that was at the peak of me, like, building. That's where this came from, this BaBylissPRO deal.
You're doing all your own editing?
All my own editing. I did hire an editor at one point. Very difficult to communicate what you want through a video for
yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
I think you work with somebody long enough that gets it, but for me, it didn't work. So went back to editing. currently I'm not posting consistently on YouTube, but again, it's just kind of shifted. I kind of ran out of people, and I'm gonna start maybe doing some more day in the life. Like, I should be recording this today. Like that, I came here today and put a snippet in. And,
Yeah.
We'll send you
so
clips.
I'm shifting to like that kind of. It's kind of like, who wants to see what I'm doing, really? But it's grown enough that people tell me, like, post vlogs, dude. We want to see what it looks like for you when you're not doing a tutorial. So we'll see where that goes.
You got into like some funny videos I've seen.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not an actor, you know. So if it involves me like acting, like, or we're gonna do something, like, then that's bad. But yeah, my most like viral video outside of YouTube is like something dumb that only barbers get. But like, I dropped a guard and it hit the mat because the mat has a beveled edge. This is real life. Anytime you drop something, it always hits the edge and it always shoots under your station, like every time. So I made a video. It like dropped and it like slid all the way across the shop, and everybody watched it go by. And, you know, it was like really dumb, and it did like 5 million.
That's
First
awesome.
video I ever had over 1 million, and that grew my Instagram. So, you know, again, just going with the flow. As all of a sudden I got from 10K to 25 on Instagram. Oh, let's focus over here a little bit. So then I started to focus on Instagram, which is, you know, kind of where how I've got to where I am today. So just stuff just shifts, you know. You just gotta roll with it.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna hit this monster that I'm not endorsed by.
Yet.
But you could be
Cover
if
the
you wanted to.
label.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
are
mean,
you listening, Monster? This guy.
Yeah, I drink it every day. Send me an endorsement. 166,000 on YouTube and 110 on Instagram.
dang, that's solid.
Right here in Owensboro.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
And that's what it's all about. Like, you know, that's why we're here. And I kind of want to circle back and maybe even close it out by saying, like, I'm proud of you. We're proud of you.
Yeah,
Owensboro's proud of you. I think this is really cool that somebody from Owensboro can do big things like this. I bet there's a lot of people in Owensboro that don't know you have over 100,000 subs on Instagram and YouTube. Like, that's a big deal.
I think most people in Owensboro probably think Sean just cuts hair every day.
Yeah.
On Frederick.
Yeah.
And I don't at all.
Right. That's
Really.
like the last thing you do.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Man, I don't know. I mean, to be totally honest, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a transition period right now. You know, I recently went down to that 1 day a week to be able to travel, and, you know, I got
It's hard to get a spot on that 1 day a week.
It is.
by the way.
Yeah. Well, you know, you was in the top text list of if you want a spot, get
It's
it.
invite only.
Yeah. No, really, it was. But I mean, I had to do that, right,
Yeah.
to free up my time. I got to the point where I couldn't be gone. Like, think about this weekend. I left Friday night. Monday I didn't get home because of delays. I would have been in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday back in the day. Before this, I would have been in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I leave again Friday.
You'd be dead.
I'd be dead. My wife wouldn't see me. That couldn't work anymore. And so I had to go down to 1 day a week, which I should have known, but I ran out of YouTube content. I have the same clients every other week. I've cut all their hair. You know, you got almost 1 million on your haircut on
Which
YouTube,
is hilarious.
Yeah.
The comments are so funny.
Yeah.
Like, every once in a while it pops up and like my whatever suggested video. It's like, oh, there's myself. But like one of them was like, why are you cutting Volodymyr Zelensky's hair or something like that? I'm like, I don't even look like that.
The
dude.
comments are crazy. Dude. The comments are crazy.
Somebody called you Zelensky.
That's crazy.
So like you're giving Zelensky a bald fade or something. I'm like,
Wow.
what is happening?
That's crazy. But yeah, I essentially like ran out of content. You know, I'll say took a break. I'm just trying to kind of figure that out because, you know, honestly, my Babyliss deal is for content. That's what I have 6 appearances a year. I've already done them. As far as like trade shows, and then it's content.
So you show up, you cut on their stages, and then you make
whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
Yeah, whatever they want
And
me
you
to
make
do.
videos using their gear.
Right. So I have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like I'm lucky that they haven't said anything yet, and I've definitely still done the amount of videos I was supposed to, but it's kind of one of those loose things. Like they signed me because I'm a YouTube educator. I can't just stop doing it. So I'm trying to figure out what that looks like next, moving forward. I am still traveling quite a bit.
You need a master class.
Yeah, well, we're about to do you mean like an online?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about doing it. But see, I think I want to go like the content route. I'm just kind of bored with the haircutting route. And there's a lot of people that have that already. A lot of my friends have it. So I've thought about doing more content creation, but in a sense of helping people find their thing. Too many people teach content creation, and they're teaching that your way. I don't know if you guys see it. There's this trend of like you would sit in the chair like, all right, man, you know, what brings you in? Why are you willing to pay me $100 for a haircut? Oh, man, you know. And then they show the before and after. Like that's somebody teaching that's how to go viral as a barber. I'm not going to teach you how to go viral as a barber. I'm going to teach you how to find what works for you with the equipment that you have and the setup at your shop and whatever, you know, and how to find essentially what I've been through to find my lane. But I want to teach people that to help them kind of.
You're like consulting at scale.
Right. Yeah.
Thought leadership.
Yeah. And not even just content, but yeah, just to navigate essentially the same thing I've done. I went from barber to shop owner to content creation to educating to traveling to, it's just kind of shifted. And I think people want to do something more, and don't have an idea where to start or how to go. So it's kind of that's kind of what I'm looking at, getting into.
What about the Klutch brand? Is there like swag and like lines of stuff like?
Yeah, we've tried to do some clothing, and you know, guys like you would buy a shirt or you know a hoodie or something like that, but it's never been like profitable. But the expo, to be honest, is where we're looking at really pushing. We think it can become like we always say like Midwest area, but we're really like in a funny spot right there. We're the South, but like we're right under the, you know, what's the Midwest, whatever. But yeah, the middle of the country is where we're at. There's nothing here. You know, you got Atlanta, Chicago, all these fairly big cities, Nashville, within driving distance. And as far as barbering goes, there's nothing here. So we're really looking to make this, who knows how big, but continue to grow. And we're going to keep clutching it out. So I already have like 3 of my vendors that are friends of mine that are going to drop exclusive. Like we're going to do a clutch colored aftershave next year at the event. What was the other one? Oh, my scissor company is going to do custom clutch inserts that go in your scissors that are what I have, that everybody can spot my scissors because they got them. You know, we're going to, as many like exclusive, we're going to make it like this show in the like I said, the Midwest just comes out. Middle of the country where nothing else is going on, that we can all own, like people that can get to this show, they can own it as like this is our event. You know, this is they come every year. You know, most important thing, most fun thing about it, I got to just walk around and mingle with people the entire time, and it was just really special. So we just want to build that, and make it as clutch as possible. And as Owensboro, it's not going to leave Owensboro, for exactly the reason that you're doing what you're doing. You know, I want every magazine and art saying, "Oh my gosh, look at this! 10,000 people came to the convention center
put us on
for
the
this."
map.
Yeah, right. So. And I'm trying, you know, I shout us out every chance I get on stage and let people know where I'm from. But yeah, we're just going to keep pushing that. And I don't know where I'll end up. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and just navigating it as we go. So.
All right, let's shift gears real quick. So tell me about your family. Tell me what you do for fun outside of cutting hair.
Ain't no fun. I just spend time with the family. That's it. Yeah. This is my life, you know. I mean, I think as an entrepreneur, as a, that's the only term I can call myself. But yeah, barber, entrepreneur, educator, you know, that encompasses everything that I think about outside of being at home with my family. I mean, it's always like, that's what I'm doing today, really, even though it's your thing. Like that's what I'm talking about when I'm out of town. It's the same thing. So I don't have a ton of hobbies. That's really what I focus on right now, is just that quality time at home with the family, not missing things. And my son just started like a preschool summer camp thing. I was definitely going to be there to take him his first day, pick him up. You know what I mean? Awesome. Like those are things that, and it's not like, I don't remember like my dad was never there growing up type of thing. I think I know a lot of people and kids and through the barbershop, and definitely see that some, you know, maybe the single mom bringing the kids in saying, you know, their dad's not around, he doesn't come to this. So it's like, I'm going to make sure that I'm the opposite of that for my kids, for my wife, make sure that, you know, I can be at everything that I can. Of course, I'm going to miss some things, you know, traveling. Sure. But I do want that to dwindle down as they get a little bit older. Because, heck, I mean, if I need to be a baseball team coach or whatever it is, I'm going to be there.
Clutch sponsored team.
Yeah.
All those jerseys would be fire.
They would.
Oh, yeah. You already know. I've already done some jerseys. But, shoot, a team around here stole our name and did it already, a baseball team, travel team. But, you know, that's good. You know, people are inspired by what we do. Yeah. Kentucky Clutch. I know all about you. But, yeah, to be honest, there's no
licensing deal there.
Yeah. Too many hobbies. Honestly, that's how my stuff keeps developing, though, is like video editing. I have a camera. I've challenged myself this year to start taking it on the road with me and taking pictures of all my teammates and people working, because none of us ever get, like, we're all filming our own stuff or whatever. I got a $5,000 camera setup that I don't use except on a tripod on my mirror to record a haircut still. So really my hobbies are like when I learn video editing, learning stuff, I do anything I need to do. I just try to teach myself, and that's where I spend, I guess, any free time I have. Is like I just got done repairing a bunch of stuff at the house from the hailstorm that now I know how to do. So yeah, I like to learn stuff. So if anything, that's probably it. Just kind of pushing myself to.
You've done a lot of home projects lately,
right? Yeah. Building stuff. Yeah, I challenge myself. I'm about to build a covered thing for my back patio, so I'm gonna do it myself and learn myself and YouTube it, and like that's
come over when you're done.
That's the
That's
the world I'm in, right? Is YouTube, and like I love the idea that you can learn anything on there, and so I just always challenge myself to learn it myself and go do it, and I guess that's probably about all I got to answer that question.
Cool, man.
I don't do much else.
The one thing I like to ask everybody, like parting word or parting. Like, who is somebody from, like, a coaching, mentoring, even if you don't know them personally, like, 20 years ago, Gary Vee was telling everybody, document everything, right? Like, who should we be paying attention to right now in your mind?
Interesting point. I love Gary Vee.
Yeah.
I love Gary Vee because he says what he wants to say. He doesn't care if you like it or not. I'm definitely a big fan of Gary Vee. I don't think I had anybody in particular that necessarily like even that I would tell you to go listen to. I think, like I said, my dad has challenged me a lot. We didn't get into this a lot, but my dad won national. He's an athletic trainer, not anymore. He was for one of the biggest basketball teams in the world back in the day. Won National Athletic Trainer of the Year. And funny enough, indirectly, all of a sudden I realized that I'm traveling on the weekends, staying. This is what I grew up doing.
Oh wow!
And I don't know if I'll ever win Barber of the Year, but I'm on the team with a guy that just won it. One of my BaBylissPRO team members. So without trying, I end up, kind of in this obviously total different industry, but same idea there. And so I think, I just saw his hard work and how serious he took his job and all of that. And somehow ended up doing different trade, but same exact setup, right? And no dig at my dad, but definitely he would tell you now at this point that he was gone a little too much, which is why I think I put so much emphasis on making sure that I'm home. But yeah, I think kind of like I said,
Let's shout the basketball team out real quick.
Okay,
yeah. It was the Fab Five.
Michigan basketball, early 90s, the Fab Five. Yeah.
At the timeout game, if you watch it, his dad's on the bench.
I was at the game as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Championship game, wasn't it?
Yeah, the timeout. I think the timeout was, Yeah, so 2 years in a row.
Doesn't your dad have Weber's face mask on his desk?
Oh, yeah, we got all kind of cool stuff like
That's
that.
so awesome.
But yeah,
he made Chris Weber's face mask.
He designed the face mask. Yeah, he just wrote a book about it.
Oh, cool.
It's called Fabulous, but super cool. It's the behind the scenes stories of life then. Really in their interactions with me and my brother, and because he wanted to show that these were just like.
Did you show me a picture like you're on Jalen Rose's shoulder?
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but yeah, these are like 18-year-old college athletes. They weren't bad guys, because they got a lot of bad, not clout, but bad press at the end.
Yeah.
So the book was just like, hey, listen, man, they carried my kids around. We would go hang out in the hotel rooms. They'd be playing,
PlayStation
Super
1
Nintendo back then. No, probably not even that.
Yeah.
92.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah,
Sega Genesis.
But yeah, so I grew up hanging out with them. I mean, I spent holidays. We were in Hawaii for Thanksgiving, for Maui Invitational. I mean, that was my life growing up. Even at 5-6 years old, it's funny because now I see what I'm doing now. It's almost, mirror image. Don't get to go as many cool places, but it's getting there. But yeah, back to your question. I think I got a lot of inspiration from that without even knowing. But kind of like I said, I want to help people find and navigate. I think people just need to be open to, kind of my comment on a lot of Owensboro mindset is like, it's okay to just do it how we do it and not push or not try to grow or whatever. I think just be open to what's around. Like whoever watches this, hopefully says, man, this as a whole series says, man, you know what? If it's a 20-year-old kid that thought they were going to just go work for their dad and make $10 an hour or whatever, like, man, you know what? Aaron Kaiser, I saw this podcast about, or hopefully they saw Sean. Maybe I'll be a barber. There's a lot more than just being a barber, So just be open to that around you because it's everywhere now. These days you scroll social media. Hopefully, that's all I see is podcasts and this and Gary Vee and people pushing. man, it's so wide open to do whatever
It
you want
is.
these days. I mean,
Well,
you
and
can
so-
make anything a career, a business. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly. So when Drew and I had lunch recently, we kind of talked about this. Like, crushing it looks different for everybody.
right,
Right. So, like, the whole idea here is I'm not going to have 50 interviews with guys doing the exact same thing
Right.
Sean's doing or whatever. And
nobody's doing what I'm doing.
You heard it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anybody can make something happen, right? And you can do it from anywhere. So that's why like the Owensboro part is so important to me,
Right.
because when we were all in high school, all of us were like, "Oh, I got to get out of town, right? I got to go somewhere else to
For
do
sure.
something." And then it's funny because we all come back, and I like to think we're all doing things,
Right,
right?
absolutely.
So, pretty cool vibe. So thanks, because you're crushing it for
Thanks.
joining us.
Thank you. I'm trying my
And
best.
this is going to be a lot of fun,
Yeah.
I think, down the road. What do you think, man?
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for coming. And again, I'm just proud that something you're doing came from Owensboro.
Right.
You were inspired by that here. You crushed it here. You grinded here, and you made it here. And I think that's important for Owensboro to hear.
Right.
So
Well, when you guys said something about being on here, of course I was going to do it. But I love, obviously as a barber, your network is your thing, right? And so everybody you're going to have on the show are people I know, pretty much. I mean, I think it is so cool that, like, loosely when you're a barber, like, oh, yeah, I know an air conditioning guy. I know the best people at all of that.
yeah,
Like, I know if I need some media stuff done, I know all your guys. Aaron Kaiser did a mural at the shop. I mean,
Yeah.
really everybody that's really doing it, I think, around here. Not to say like the tie is me, that ties them all together, but
Right.
there is a network of people that are crushing it here. So as soon as I saw you did it, I thought, man, what a cool idea. Because I think a lot of us go missing through the cracks and don't get, if I'm being honest, don't get maybe the publicity or the credibility that maybe we should. I think just because Owensboro operates the way they do, and the whatever outlets there is to showcase people, kind of do the same thing. And so something new like this is super cool and exciting. And I already know some of the people you're going to have on, and I'll definitely watch them all and see what they got to say.
yeah.
Well, it's funny because like when this all began in June, right? And I was like, there's 30 days in June. I can find 30 people, one for every day. There were people who were like, oh, you're going to run out. You're going to run out. Well, the list right now is at like 53, I think, the last time I looked.
Yeah.
So 52 weeks in a
53
year.
more?
Yeah,
50?
yeah. I've got,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. For to do these, not your
yeah.
write-ups. Okay.
So, I mean, if we do a weekly podcast,
Yeah.
we got a year of content
Yeah, that's
already.
Yeah.
So, Owensboro is crushing it. People in Owensboro, like Sean, are crushing it. And that's the whole point. So,
Yeah.
Thanks
Oh.
for coming.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. I'll be on episode 1 next year when we revisit and see where everybody's at.